I'm a lover, I'm a healer, and at my core, I love to converse with others. I find myself recently wanting to have deep conversations, but yet didn't feel like I had an outlet to do so. That's the reason why I created Reggie's Expressions. My mother, who passed away earlier this year, was my inspiration behind that, as well as my good friend Darlena, which I talk about. Now, those two women are vastly different. Darlena represented the side of life of living life on purpose and be kind to people. And my mom represented a person who wasn't able to fully, authentically be herself because of her mental illness. It taught me that I can't just sit back and wait for people to speak up for me, because that will never happen. I have to be willing to speak up for myself and also provide a safe space to speak up for others or allow others to speak up for themselves. So if you're wondering why am I here, that should explain it. Come on down to Reggie's Expressions, where we express our feelings, talk about emotions, and we go there. And then after we go there, we lead with love, kindness, and compassion. What's up, everybody? Are you watching it, love? Is that you right now? Mm-hmm. What is going on? It is currently 8:17 here in the beautiful Ocoee, Florida. What's up, guys? How are you? So I didn't have a guest planned tonight, and I figured I'd come on here and shoot the shit with you guys and just talk to you, see how things are going, and see if you guys had any questions or questions and answers that you guys want to do. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk. And I think this is going to be the final episode for this year, y'all, because your boy is tired. Your boy is tired. And I need to relax and rest, and I want to end the year going. Y'all know I got a birthday coming up on the 17th of December. And then we got Christmas. And then after Christmas, we have New Year's. So we got a plethora of holidays that are going to be coming up here pretty soon. So I want to free myself of any work that is necessary. But that gives you guys an opportunity to go back and listen to, because I can hear it. That gives you guys an opportunity to go back and listen to the episodes, all of season 4. And then you can also watch the videos on YouTube as well. So let's talk. All right. So I got a lot of great things. Hey, friend. Hey, Shay, how are you? All right. I'm mad at you that you got that $2.19 gas all the way on Cimarron. That's real far over here in Ocoee. I ain't trying to go that far, but that sounds beautiful. Maybe we can find some gas cheaper than that. But 2021 is almost done. And every year, whenever we're at this point, and I think we're just cognizant of time, we look at, damn, it's already 2021 or 2022, 2023. And it's like, where did the time go? But I was just having this thought by myself. And I think that back in the day, LOL, they fixed it. Boo. They should honor that price anyway. I don't think that works with gas. It works in retail, but not with gas. But we always look back and we're like surprised at how much time goes by. But the perception of time is, with the 317, she's talking about gas, by the way, y'all. She's talking about gas. I knew that was too good to be true. I'm glad I didn't get up out my bed. I filled up a couple days ago. I'm glad I didn't get up and go and do it because I would have been mad. So, but yeah, we always go back and we look at, as time passes. And I remember back in the day when I was a kid, and an hour used to seem like it was so freaking long, because it was filled with things that I didn't want to do, like napping and doing schoolwork and everything else that you can think about. But now that you're older and when you're paying bills, it seems like time goes by so fast, you know. Um, and there's times where I'm aware of time going fast. Oh, y'all did. Okay. That's good. They paid $2.19 though. Must be nice. Must be nice. And now as an adult, you know, an hour don't seem like nothing, you know. I get an hour for lunch. And, you know, if I got to go get something to eat, it's going to take me a minimum of 15 minutes to get it. So that means I only have 45 minutes, you know, to really enjoy it. So it's really about perception. And it's about, you know, taking the time to cherish the times that you want to cherish. Like, I'm going to cherish my birthday on Friday. You know, I'm just going to be thankful to God that I'm able to wake up, you know, a healthy person, you know. And I get to celebrate my 41st year of life, or actually 42nd, because I'll be spending the next year turning 42. And when I look back over my life, man, and I just think of like all the things that I've done so far, you know, growing up wanting to be a doctor, and obviously that changing as I got older when I realized how much money that would cost to do and how much schooling. I'm happy with where I'm at, you know. If you'd have asked me 8 years ago if I saw myself married, I would tell you no. If you know, would have asked 8 years ago if I would have had a house, I probably would have been too afraid to have rented one or owned one. If you would have asked me if I would have, you know, decided to sell insurance, I probably would have stayed where I was. But, you know, God gives us, you know, free will. And that allows us to be able to, you know, pick and choose what we want to do. And with that, you know, sometimes we choose to stay in something longer than we should, and God forces us to, or the universe, whoever you pray to, you know, will force us to end up having to make different decisions. You know, I have worked for every cell phone company there is: Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint most recently. And it was interesting, but it was time for me to get out of retail, and it was time for me to do something with a little bit more longevity, because when I talk to some of the people that are still in that industry, I mean, there's no money in it anymore. You know, I remember back in the day at one company, I was making 5,000-6,000, you know, in commission, you know, and yeah, they're not making that now, you know. So it's been a blessing and an honor to work for the company that I work for now. Been with them for about 3 years and 2 months. And I'm just honored. I had never considered that I'd be selling insurance working for the company that I work for. I mean, I know I can sell, you know, being in retail, especially with Verizon. You know, they definitely train you. You're a part of the best, you know, when they train you with Verizon. And it created a sense of confidence in me that has allowed me to do really well. And then I also took to this this book called The Art of Selling, and the Psychology of Selling. I'm sorry, and it just really talks to you. It teaches you how to sell, not from customers' pockets, but sell from, you know, creating that picture and desire and need. And I've used that, and that has allowed me to be very, very successful with the company that I'm with right now. And I'm being very choosy without telling you guys what company. But you know, I'm actually in a different position now. I'm behind the scenes more, and you know, it's a different type of brain power that I have to use, but nonetheless, I feel challenged, you know. And what I've learned over my life is that money isn't always the case, you know. I stopped chasing money a long time ago, because the decisions I made choosing money, those decisions, you know, choosing money came back real quick, where I realized I wasn't fully fulfilled in those positions. I had the money, but I didn't like what I was doing. And sometimes you have to make choices that are not just money grabs. Money is great, but your peace of mind is worth $1,000 more, $1,000,000 more to have a peace of mind. So, yeah. And now I work for this company and doing something that is absolutely challenging, but I feel fulfilled in doing what I do. And Shay said it best: close those doors real quick when it's not for us. You're right. That's what happens sometimes. We want to make the best decisions, and sometimes we use it using our wallet. Sometimes we make the decision based on, you know, um, other factors. Quick story. I'm gonna put Carlos on the spot. In 2018, before I started working for who I work for now, I was working at Sprint. Actually, we're gonna take it back a little bit further. So Carlos used to work for this company, and he actually got hired because he was a friend of a friend. Or no, he got hired because he was friends with one of the people that worked there. They put Carlos through training, and they taught real nice, and was telling him, we do things professionally here, so on and so forth. And the reason why he took this job is because he had just lost his previous job, and he wanted to jump into something quickly so there won't be any loss of money. So he did. It was very quickly that Carlos realized that he hated that fucking job. When I say hated, I don't use hate too often, but tell her how much you hated that job.
A lot.
A lot. A lot. Like, how much?
A lot.
Okay. If you had to put it in that much.
To the moon and back.
To the moon and back. And Carlos is a very quiet person, and he can take a lot of things. So it was quite surprising to me that he, hated that job. So I was like, Carlos, stay. We can't, you just gotta. And I made a deal about, sacrificing. And sometimes you do things you don't like, and you just gotta grin and bear it. He comes on one day and he says, yeah, I'm not going back to that job. And I was like, oh, really? And I'm like, so you just really not going to go back to that job? He goes, yeah. And by the way, I called so-and-so to hook me up to go back to the job that I was at before, and he's going to let me know. So obviously I was livid, and that was by fear, because I didn't know what we were going to do financially, because we were like second year into this house, and just as sure as my name is Reggie, and just as sure as his name is Carlos, that person made good on their promise. And then when he went back to the old job, because initially Carlos was part-time, that's why he left. And then he went to another job, that didn't work. And then he went to the other job and he hated it. And then he went back to the very first job that I was telling you about that was part-time. So they were able to make him full-time and get him back on because Carlos did the work. He was a really good worker. So that worked out. He did that based on faith. It was just him saying, you know what, I can't deal with this no more. So I'm going to change my environment. He could have easily stayed, and I'm pretty sure eventually he might have gotten around it, and just did the work. But being the kind of person that Carlos is, he's just not one of those people that can just go in and give 100%. Carlos has to give 235%. That's just the kind of person he is. And he wouldn't have been able to be happy, and that wouldn't have allowed him to be nourished, feel nourished and accepted at that job. So he quit. And, I had to defer to him and say, you know what, you were right on this one. So fast forward to a couple years ago, I had the same situation with, and I don't mind telling y'all this, the company that I work for, it was Sprint.
hated it. And it wasn't because, you know, I think I was just at a point in my life where I was just over retail. And, you know, it just didn't have the fruits of the labor that I was looking for. So, long story short, I get to a certain point and I had secured a job already. And I just needed to finish out the time that I need to finish out at Sprint. So every day was a struggle because I knew I was leaving. But I was just like, and I remember the last customer I took before I made the decision that I was going to quit. I was just like, this customer was just the worst. She was the absolute worst. And I had had enough at this point. And, you know, I would call Carlos on my way to work, coming from work, telling him how much I did not like it, how much I just wanted to quit, and I could just do Uber part-time and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, 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 you need to stay. So at this day, I had enough. I went to him and I was like, you remember when you had quit that job? You remember how you felt when you quit that job? You remember what you did when you quit that job? I'm going to quit this job. So I quit, you know. But, you know, the good thing is I had it already secured, you know, that I was going to, you know, transition to the other position. I just transitioned to another job. I just decided to leave sooner. So I say all that to say, sometimes you just have to go on faith. Sometimes you just have to believe in yourself enough to know that you're going to make it happen, whatever it takes. Which brings me to my announcement that I want to make to you guys. You guys have been following Reggie's Expressions for quite some time. I've been doing this for 24 months now, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I have fun doing it. Shay says, right. I mean, you didn't do the snap, but I did, so just made it. Yeah, don't worry about it. But you do have to believe in yourself. And this year, losing my mom was the most impactful thing that has happened to me in a really long time. And then Carlos losing his dad was the most impactful thing that happened to him in a really long time. We've had friends that have passed away, but nothing is close to home as those two people. And it just taught me really that life is short. And you can always put it off and say tomorrow, 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 but what if tomorrow never comes? So the news I want to share with you guys is that you felt my spirit, fam. That snap was perfect. So, and Shay, we're going to have to meet one of these days because you right here in the city and I ain't met you yet. But yeah, you guys notice that. Well, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Socorro Garner family to the next level. You guys know that we created SoCo Garn Productions, LLC. I created an LLC that was initially around, podcasting because I wanted to protect my intellectual property. So I decided to create it. And just having conversations with other friends and, moving into the position that I'm into, which is not commission-based, I decided that I wanted to actually become a notary. And I also decided that I want to be an officiant in the state of Florida. So I officially am an ordained minister in the state of Florida. So your boy can marry people. It's very easy to get ordained. Just search it on Google. So I'm an ordained minister. With that being said, I am also getting my notary as we speak. And what I mean is as we speak is I got an email today that said that they received my notary application. In the state of Florida, once they receive your notary application and they process it, it can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. So what I am expecting by January 1st I will have my notary certificate, and I will be able to notarize in the state of Florida. So I'm very, very, very excited about that. So initially, it will be part-time during the week. So don't worry about it. I'll post the application. I'll post the website. What he said? Yep, I have a website. So, I'm so proud of you, taking you and yours to the next level. Absolutely, freaking. This man is expensive. Okay, let me tell y'all this. Carlos, this is how I know he expensive. Instinctually, Carlos will be like, he'll go to something, don't know the price. And I'll be like, which one do you want? That one. Okay, great. Go look at that one. This one's $299. This one's $14. This one's $5. I think you should go with that one. No, I like this one. But that's $299. Yeah, no, I want that one though. But the $5 one just doesn't. Yeah, I know, but I want this one. So that just means I have to go do 10 shifts on Uber to make it happen. He laughing, but he knows the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Shame the devil, tell the truth. Yeah, oh Lord. But yeah, so your boy is an ordained minister. So I would prefer you guys to call me Minister Reggie. I'm just kidding.
Ministro.
Please don't do that. What is it in Spanish?
El ministro.
El Ministro.
Champatish.
Champatish. But yeah, so right now I'm not taking any weddings. I'm not ready to marry anybody because I want to shadow people first. And I also want to shadow doing notary too. I'm not quite sure if I want to go through the process of doing loan signing, which is what I hear is money. You know what I'm saying? But, at this point, me being full-time with my job right now, I don't see that in the cards for me just yet. And I just don't want to put more on myself than I'm able to handle. And I just need to take this one step at a time, And to be honest, y'all, when I was going through this process, man, it was like, you know how they say on the internets, the interwebs, they be like, start your own business. Okay. All right. I'm going to take that advice. But no one told you the amount of work that it takes to actually do it. The extent of starting a business for me was requesting a tax ID, which I didn't even really know I needed. I mean, whatever. I just knew that what a tax ID is, just being in the business that I used to work in. I was aware of tax IDs. There's basically a social for your business. What I didn't realize is not before you actually do business, and it all depends on what you're doing, whether you're sole proprietary, which I don't know that route. I actually did an LLC, which is limited liability company. You have to have permits to be able to practice business in the state of Florida. So in the city as well, and the county. So yeah, your boy had to find out how that went. I actually got a lawyer to get my LLC going. And they sent me this big old packet. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? And I called them, they didn't answer. And I was like, you know what? I just need to figure it out. So just read it. So I read the documentation that they gave me, and it basically explained everything that I needed. And I was able to do it. And I've done the final stages of all of that. I've paid the city tax. I've paid the county taxes. I've registered with the IRS. I'm trying to think of what else. Registered with the IRS. And I think that's it. I think that's all. I might be missing something. I can't remember, but I got a big old folder that has all of our business stuff in it. So I'm very excited about it. And I felt extremely accomplished, but I also was nervous because it was like, man, I'm spending all this daggone money because it ain't cheap. It is not cheap. If you do it with a lawyer, It's not cheap. But the reason I did it for the lawyer is, number one, I was referred to it by somebody, and I trust their judgment. And number two, I really feel like I probably would have fucked up some shit, and that would have just made me frustrated and not want to do it. So, I had the income to be able to do it, so it was something that I did. But I wouldn't recommend the company that I went to, and I don't even know the name, so I can't even advise you who not to go to. And that was, my experience. I just didn't have a really good experience with them. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want to disparage them any further. But I did that, and I also got a website created for my podcasting and, the business that's going to be launching in January. I'm holding off on posting that for now because I want to wait until I get the notary stuff. And then I'll be able to fully kind of go in and, do all of that. So, I'm just waiting for now. And Carlos and I are both owners. Obviously that made sense because we're married, and what I make is his and what he makes is mine. So, I'm a very big believer in, everything being, especially when it's finances, everything being 50-50. I don't believe in that whole idea of having your own separate accounts and all that other stuff, because I believe that if he broke, then I'm broke. We both ain't going nowhere. If you know what I'm saying, that's just my philosophy. Some people live by a different creed, and that's quite all right. But yeah, I don't subscribe to that. Having your own separate, and I don't. Teach his own. So yeah, that is gonna be happening. As time, goes on, and the closer I get into the notary stuff, I'm obviously gonna let y'all know. Somebody get the collection plate. But I'll let you guys know more as time goes on about that whole ordeal. I'm very excited about it, and I wanted to make sure that I share that with you guys. That doesn't mean that I'm still going to be doing the podcast. I'm still going to be doing all of the media stuff, with Reggie's Expressions. So that's not changing. What I'm simply doing is just adding more on my plate, really, and just expanding my portfolio. I never thought that I would be a business owner. I never thought that. And I know I'm in the very early stages, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, I'm just excited to see how it's going to go, or I'm nervous as hell, but it's a good kind of nervous. It's the nervous that keeps you pushing to make it, go as best as it can. And if you guys are interested about the notary stuff, the notary is actually very easy. The company that I use was National Notary Association, NNA. There's a young lady on not Facebook, but YouTube, called The Crafty Notary. She's in Tampa. And I actually got the advice to use NNA from her because she said she had a good experience. So they did all the filing for you. I just had to go and take the test. Not test. It wasn't a test. It was more like a knowledge check kind of thing. And after I did that, I got my certificate, and I had to send that into the state of, we'll send it into NNA, and they're processing it now. So it's really easy to do. And if you're interested, NNA.com, you can go to, or just type in National Notary Association, and that will pop up. Notary is a public office. People can make good money doing it. To me, I just want to expand how I interact with meeting other people. And I also want to make sure I just do the best of what I'm trying to do, I guess. Right now it's still early because I don't know what's going to happen, simply because I don't have my notary yet. But I'm telling you guys, y'all are going to be for sure included, and for sure all up in here to be able to tell. When I tell you everything you want to know, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know. Shay says, yes, you got this. Thank you for sharing the info too. I love seeing people glow up, and thank you for giving others the same opportunity. I appreciate that, Shay. Man, you the real MVP over here. Let me not. And for sure. Whoops. Sorry. I don't want that to play back. I always forget that I put this on Facebook too, or my Facebook page. So if people are leaving comments, I actually cannot see it. I always forget that I put this on. Carlos. That's Carlos. Carlos over there. He's on it. I can make whatever, and Carlos gonna always be there support. So I ain't tripping. I don't mind that. I appreciate it. So, but thank you for that comment, Shay. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you believing in me as well. And I'm just trying to do my best to have the best life I possibly can. You know, I joke about, you know, Carlos being expensive and all that other stuff. I mean, that's funny. But the reality of it is Carlos and I also like to give back too, you know, because we definitely believe that if we're blessed, you know, and we have the ability to bless others, why not? You know, I mean, you can't take money with you when you die. You can try to, but what you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? They might not, they don't even need money over there. So why try to take it with you, right? So, you know, this gives us an opportunity to kind of move, you know, with the community. My ultimate goal, I think, is really just to expand my horizons. And I know how broad that sounds, but I've been moving and shaking in the professional world for the longest. And I'm good at that. I just want to create an opportunity for myself that will sustain me even after, you know, my position with the company I'm with is far gone. So that's really the reason also, or another reason why I'm deciding to do this. What else? What else? I'll be 41. Did I mention that? I mentioned that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be 41. Birthday this weekend. Oh, where's the is it downstairs?
What?
The license plate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No, they're here.
Oh, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Carlos got this for my birthday. My birthday's not here yet. Yeah, I know. We just like to give our gifts early. I want to show y'all this real quick. Oh. So we're going to be putting that on the cars. So we're going to be advertising, you know, for that. I really like it. I really like it. Me and Carlos, when we come to, you know, when it comes to guests, we, you know, there's typically no holds bar. We do our best to try to outdo, you know, the previous years, but we've had a hard time this year trying to figure out what to get, because this month anniversary was on the 5th. My birthday is in 2 days. Christmas. That's 3 things that we celebrate. And I, you know, in the very beginning of the relationship with me and Carlos, I was like, my birthday is on the 17th. So don't give me my birthday present and my Christmas present. I always say that. And we just at a loss of what to get each other this time around, you know? So he came up with that idea. I did not expect that at all. And I'm happy with it. I really am. I'm very happy with it. I'm very excited about it. About putting it on my car. You know, it's the little thing sometimes, you know, that isn't a big extravagant gift. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's nice. And
But we got everything. We don't need more.
We do have a lot. We do have an abundance of stuff. A lot of clothes. And I can't tell if I want to be skinny or small. So, you know, it's just the whole thing. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this was enough for me. This was enough. But he did, and I'm gonna let y'all know. He did get me some earrings. I don't think y'all can see it. Nope. And I'm like, oh, this one. Yeah, me some earrings. So I had hoop earrings that he got. Was it a year ago that you purchased those, or a couple years ago?
3 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I had them that long. I don't think I had them that long.
This?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it was that long. You sure? I don't know, but he got the hoop earrings. Are you sure, love?
Oh no. I thought you were talking about mine. Yours?
No. Yeah, I got yours. Yeah. Okay. So he got the hoop earrings a year ago, and I told him I want a hoop earring so my earrings can like dangle. And yeah, I can't do hoop earrings or the I don't know what it was, but anyway, I woke up one morning and my right one was gone, and then a couple more months, I lost the other one. So I was like, I want earrings, but I don't want hoops this time. I'm lurking and listening now. Got to cook this late meal. I understand. Yeah, it's 8:51. It's almost bedtime. Good. But yeah, it's really difficult for us to get gifts for each other. It also doesn't help that his birthday is in February 11th, and then Valentine's Day is the 14th. So imagine that. It's the same thing in February. But what do you get somebody who has a lot? You surprise them with gifts like that. That meant the world to me. And it also does, in the long run, help with advertising for us, which is going to ultimately bring money back to the house, and that's the plan. So, thank you, love. I appreciate that. What else do I have? I'm really excited about 2022. I feel different, y'all. I know I was tense initially doing this, doing my live because I was afraid about being by myself. But not really afraid, but it was just like making my stomach kind of turn a little bit because for so long I had a co-host, which that's going to be the next thing that I'm going to talk about. And I want to address that because I just want to address it. I just want to get that out there. So Angelo and I decided to bring him on as a co-host in the middle of the season because I had already done a couple episodes, and I'm not going to go too deep in it, but I want y'all to know, that I don't want y'all to be like, what the hell happened? I just put out a commercial with him on it not too long ago. But the long and short of it all, Angelo and I just didn't work well together. It wasn't any disrespect, and it wasn't any like anger, or at least on my part anyway, involved. It's just that we didn't mesh well. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just don't mesh well with people. And that's nothing wrong with that. It's like forcing a square into a circle. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna work. And if you try to do it, you do finally get that, square into the circle. It's going to look weird. It's odd, right? So, that's really the long and short of that situation. At the end of the day, I wish him the best. I wish him all the luck and the love in the world. He contributed greatly to the show on the episodes that he was on. It's just, it didn't work for us in that instance, in that capacity. And reason, season, lifetime, friend. Yep, you're right. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes as an adult, you do have to have conversations with your friends sometimes to realize, because people change. Everybody always talks about like when you become famous or, something happens, you come involved, you get a new job, you move, they tell you not to change, but change is the most constant thing that happens in our life. So why would you tell somebody not to change? That's not even physically possible. It ain't even mentally possible. You will never be the same. You're always changed by the experiences that you have, you know? And if you stay the same, that's just that's boring. You know what I'm saying? You evolve because life makes you evolve. And sometimes we have to evaluate our relationships like that sometimes. The idea of, being BFFs, best friends forever, and BFFAEs, best friends forever and ever. We think that's a very school-esque kind of thing, because you think as a kid you have forever, but what that doesn't account for is your change. And I actually, not recently, but I had to have that talk with a friend also. A couple years ago, I wanted to have a conversation to just kind of see where we were because we weren't on the same page as we were before. And to be honest, it was something that I had been noticing for a long time. And I just put it to the side simply because I didn't want to deal with it. But then when I sat down and I thought about it, I was like, this person I've been friends with for a number of years. And we don't even do the things that we used to do anymore. So I decided that I was going to go and have a conversation with them to just talk about, where we were. And without going too much into detail, I knew very early into the conversation that I was going to have to end the friendship. And I wasn't really hurt because I had seen the writing on the wall before. And the conversation was just really a formality, And even though we ended amicably, I knew that it wasn't going to be the same. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to call that person, friend like I had for a number of years. And that was okay. Now, I see that person. I definitely am cordial. I speak because there's no ill will in my heart for them. It's just that I've grown and, they have too, apparently. And we just are no longer serving each other, Shay says, we have to do friendship reflections like we do self-reflections. They are both essential for our steady growth. You said a mouthful there. That is 100% truthful. And you got to know the difference, just like Shay said, reason, season, lifetime, And, I'm not saying that there's a decision, that you have to make, sometimes for people to be in other categories of season and reason. You just evaluate the situation and just be like, okay, let me put them in this category. Let me put them in this category. But when you have someone that you consider a lifelong friend and things change, you kind of owe it to them and you owe it to yourself to have that conversation. But, no disrespect to that person. They are thriving. They are doing well. And, it just ain't it for us anymore. And for a long time, I was sad about that because to me, it just was the end. And I wasn't ready to give up. But why hold on to something that's no longer serving you? Why? What does that do for you? What does that do for them? You know what I'm saying? Why not take the time back for yourself and just, focus on you. Focus on trying to give energy to people who want to do the work and the people who are doing the work. Like Shay said, you got to do some self-reflection. And I'm quick to close people off, which I'm trying not to do. I don't really like closing people off like that. Just because I don't know why that is. I guess I need to do some more self-reflecting to figure that out, but I don't like to just cut people off, but it's easy for me to do so. And the reason why it is because I believe you. What Oprah said, a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. And that's really the case. You know, I try to have this whole 3 strikes rule where I tell you the first time, the first hit's free. The second hit, I done told you, and I'm reminding you. The third hit is like, nah, you clearly don't give a shit, so I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give everybody the opportunity, but you know, sometimes people are just toxic. And when I tried to force that on, you know, tried to force a friendship with people who didn't deserve it, I found very quickly that it's not worth me putting all of that energy into forging something, because they reveal themselves quite quickly. So, you know, it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure everybody here has all had that situation where they've had to evaluate their relationship with a friend, and it happens, and it's a part of life. And you do have to grieve, you know, just like you would grieve anything else. And you have to know and allow yourself the time to do so, you know? So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The one thing that I really have to focus on myself is the stillness. I do not like sitting around doing nothing. If I'm up and I'm bored, I'm actually not up, I'm sleeping. And I don't know what that is. I just don't like to. If I'm up and ain't doing nothing, eventually I'm taking a nap. And that's just the perfect way for me to just quit the day, to be honest, taking a nap. You know, for a long time when, you know, Carlos and I were in a relationship, he didn't take naps. I would say within the last couple of years, he's really, especially if we're off together, we taking a nap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I nap for about 2 hours. Carlos may do 30 minutes, an hour at max. If he's really sleepy, an hour and a half. But it's just become a way for me to just kind of offload the day, especially if I had a stressful one. But with my shift now, I get off at 7, so I probably won't be napping because it'll be time for bed pretty much, and I gotta eat. So, but yeah, man, I'm very excited about all these things, and I hope you guys are there to enjoy the ride. I'm excited about seeing what the next step is going to be. What happened? What happened?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Go.
Did he fart?
Yes.
What, you smell something?
Mhm.
Oh.
Go down there.
One of the dogs left a treat somewhere. I guess we'll be finding that soon if he did. Mhm. Everything's good, guys. Everything's good. Got no complaints. My plan for 2022 with the podcast is I'm going to take a break. I don't know how long that break is going to be, but I'm thinking mid-January, maybe 1st of February is when I'll come back. I just really need to take some time to just, you know, experience life a little bit, you know, and just not have the grind of having to promote on social media. Because I will tell you guys, when you're the only person, not saying that Carlos doesn't help, because he does. Being a podcaster, there's a lot of things that, and if you don't have a team, which I don't have a team yet, because I mean, still early in the growth, you're really doing everything. Like I created a commercial. I didn't even know I knew how to do it. I mean, I've done it before. Let me say. And yesterday, you know, Miss Pinky was like, I told her, you know, I asked her, you know, for some help on something. And she was like, yeah, you need to, you know, do this, this, and this. You got to create a commercial, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I had created one before, but it was just kind of like me just dragging and dropping. I really didn't put much effort into it, but it turned out well. Like, for example, the little bit that you guys saw at the very beginning. I created that. And last night, I would say about 25 minutes, I went on iMovie on my iPad and I just created a 50 seconds spot, made two. And she said she was very happy. Before I would have just given up and been like, oh, well, whatever. I don't know what to do. But she pushed me just by saying, hey, this is what I recommend. And it basically put it back in my wheelhouse. And, I'm happy with both of the commercials. But I'm going to continue to focus on growth. So I'm going to need y'all help with that, though. Okay. What I'm going to need from you guys is to actually go on Reggie's Expressions on the page. A lot of you guys are following that already. Go and listen to some of those podcasts. If you have Apple Podcasts, go on Apple, leave a comment, leave, rate us. Okay. Rate me and give honest feedback. Tell me if you don't like it. Tell me if you don't like it. And now it depends on how I feel. I might take it seriously. I might not. Who knows? And, we're going to continue. I'm going to continue to focus on growth. So I'm going to continue to push the social media page. Right now, we're at 204 people following, 177 people like the page. I don't know the difference, but that's the case. We have over 114 people on the supporter page. I'm currently at 193 followers on Instagram. Coming from, I would say, not even 2 months ago, I was at 89. So it's been growth. I'm also associated with the Black Podcast Association, helmed by Corey Gums, really cool guy. I'm also a part of a couple other podcast networks as well. And I'm a part of the National Association, a National Podcast Association. So that's really cool. And yeah, I'm making the right moves. And then I got my business that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. So a lot going into the pipeline for us to continue to grow. And when I say us, I mean me and Carlos, because I'm even though he doesn't do much of the podcasting, Carlos really helps with coming up with the creative concepts. So the stuff that y'all see on here, Carlos sketched that. He sketched it and gave it to his cousin, and she put it together. So creatively, we make a really good team. Hopefully, I can get a social media manager at some point. I'm not really looking for it too hard because, at this point, I'm doing it all. So I think it'll be very hard for me to relinquish responsibility over to someone else. And I just don't really know what that looks like. So, I'm still in the process of trying to grow still. So, but that's I'm excited about that. Growth for sure. And then, I'm telling myself to not be modest, but I'm not doing that to myself. What I was going to say is, maybe I can end up parlaying into a space where I can be on other shows. I can help other people, create content, give them a key success in terms of what I did. And, we'll all see how that goes. But I think I definitely have some value in that space. I want to definitely continue to represent for, LGBTQIA plus. I want to continue to do that. And I want to continue to have conversations that, draw people in and invite people in, and spotlighting my Black people, because I love us. I love us for real, like Monique says. And I want to, continue to try to give my husband a better life, a good life. He has a lot to do with my inspiration, my reason behind why I do what I do. So, yeah. all good things. And I appreciate everybody here. I do. I appreciate all of you guys for, spending the time hanging out with me, listening to the podcast, doing all the things. It means more than you'll ever know.
Mm.
Who would have thought that this kid from Albany, Georgia would be sitting here having a conversation with you guys about my dreams, hopes, and all that other stuff, and talking with y'all about just life and really feeling passionate about it. Would have never thought I would have been here, but it's been worth it. It's been worth it. And I'm going to continue to get better. I feel like I'm good, but there's always room for growth. And maybe one of these days I'll be able to have Amanda Seals on here. I like her. A lot of people don't, but I do. I like her a lot. She's a pretty cool chick, at least for me. If any of you guys know her, make sure she gets this, and hook a brother up. No, but I do love Amanda Seals, and I do try to model myself after her in the sense that she's educating people with her comedy. Education doesn't have to be read from a book. It can be given to you in many different forms and doses. And, I think she does that really well. And I want to channel that from her. So, yeah. But all in all, everything else is good. Everything else is good. Everything else is fine. Has a little bit of a chill outside, but it's all right. It's all right. So, with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and bid y'all adieu. I was going to try to stay on here until we got another 3 minutes. I'm going to stay on here until 9:15. I'm going to round it out an hour. What else can I talk about? If you hadn't already, go follow Miss Pinky 313. Also go follow Hostile Therapy. Make sure you check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Oh yeah, I want to talk to you guys about this podcast I've been listening to. It's more on YouTube. It's called Let's Talk Bruh, and that bruh is spelled BRUH. It is a very good podcast, and it talks about the vulnerability of men. The last conversation they had was about sex. And they were not only talking about how, having sex, they were also talking about times where they felt like they didn't have sex or they didn't want to have sex, or talking about times where, they talk about consent. They talk about a plethora of things of men being vulnerable. And it's coming from a Black lens. And the thing I love about it is it asks thought-provoking questions of their guests. And these guys are some of the most top-notch men that I've seen. I just absolutely love it. And I'm going to be binging all of their videos here pretty soon because they're just really dope guys. Again, that's Let's Talk Bruh. They're on Facebook and Instagram. You can't see my comments. No, I can't see your comments, Sam. Your comments are on Facebook. Let me see. Samuel Jackson is watching. Sam wanted to make sure that I see his comments, and I did not see. Where are you putting your comments, Sam? Do you see his comments, love?
Mm-hmm. I can only see the ones that.
Am I gonna cry? Boo! No, I'm not gonna cry. And so what? So what if I did cry? Nah, I'm not gonna cry. Can I show y'all this? Oh, y'all can't see it. And y'all can't see it, but that's Carlos' sister. That damn girl look just like that man. This is Carlos, but as a girl, she looks just like him, just like him. Um, so I guess you wanted me to see that, Sam. You wanted me to see, am I gonna cry? But no, I'm not gonna cry. I am not going to cry. Not today. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. But with that being said, guys, it is 9:15, and I'm gonna go for real this time. I want to tell you guys again, thank you so much for listening, hanging out. It wasn't really a question and answer kind of thing. And Shay, you was the only one that was participating, so I appreciate you a million times over. And yeah, we're gonna have to meet one of these days. We gotta figure it out. I think you live on the other side of town, but it will be worth the trip for sure. But you guys know the drill. The reason why I do this is because, I had two strong, beautiful women that influenced my life, one being Darlene McDonald and the other being my mother. Darlene believed in the phrase, live life on purpose and be kind to people. And my mom represents a person who didn't have the ability to speak up for herself. So I used that motivation to carry on her legacy to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves, and also show people who are interested in speaking up for themselves how. So that is really my mantra, okay? And I'm going to continue to do my best to bring you guys good content, and I'm going to continue to do my best to make sure that this world is just and right when I'm in it, and shout out to my husband for just sitting back there on his texting box, not doing anything but being support, which is more than you'll ever know. And thank you to you all for hanging out with me. Don't forget to comment, share, like, all of the fun stuff. Your boy is going to take a break, and I'm going to talk to you guys I was going to say the top of the year, but I'm going to talk to you guys in 2022 because your boy needs a break because I'm tired. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. You can find me on Facebook, and that is Reggie's Expressions, REGGEE''S Expressions. You can also find me on YouTube as well under Reggie's Expressions, REGGEE''S Expressions. You can also find me on Instagram, and that is REGGEE_REGGES_Expressions. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Before I let you go, Carlos, you got anything?
No.
You didn't have anything?
Yes.
Huh?
We love you all.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Peace. See you next year.